Hello and welcome to Navigating Patterns. What we're going to do today is I'm going to sort of start to round out the sort of where we're going model in my model series, and this is sort of the third slide deck, right? The fourth in the sequence, and I might do one or two more videos on this just to bring it together in different ways. And again, I really want you to take your time with it because these models, they seem simple, but the implications are difficult, and going through them slowly and taking good care and attention and time with them is sort of important. Again, we're trying to foster communication and understand where other people are so we can drag them along with us. And as always, I'm going to be using some definitions here. They're my definitions. If you like them, take them. If you don't like them, throw them out. Or better yet, modify them for your own use. So we sort of left off with this model that includes participation, co-creation, common good, right? We've got into humans, we've got all this great stuff. And I guess I'll just jump back in. We'll start with the last slide. And you can see that the participation and the co-creation are here. So that's an improvement. We're no longer othering, right? We're out of all that. We're able to orient because we have a third perspective. So that helps us to add depth to our way of relating to the world. And, I think we have all the elements, right? In terms of the perspective and our role and our relationship with humans, and keeps up proper participation, right? The concept of co-creation and why this common good is important. And the third perspective enables all of that, and having it in this format enables. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of play around with the objects here. And what we're going to go to is right relation. So what you see are shared values at the top. Humans are gone. They're now a community, right? And you're still hanging out at the bottom. The shared values, replaces the common good. That's what makes the commonality work better, is the sharing, right? The sharing is the commonality, right? Rather than trying to enforce commonality on people, we're sharing. So everyone's contributing. That way you're not getting stuck in this mode where you're sort of down from above, forcing things in place. And it's a better model for community, right? And it tells you what's going on, like in relation to you, right? You are part of a community. That doesn't mean you lose sight of the shared values, but that's what enables you to be in these communities. Maybe you're part of more than one, almost certainly you are. And the interesting thing about communities is, they need aims outside of themselves, right, to be healthy. Otherwise, they become bad. You have to be able to revivify them, right? And you don't ever want a self-referencing community, because those are cults. Those are negative cults. So you got to be careful of that. And so, let's change things up a bit. And while shared values is important, we really want to go to common values and this idea of co-creation. So you are co-creating with the community, and this is the right relation to have with respect to all of these things. And basically, you'll notice there's arrows here, and they're pointing a relationship. The top goes down, calls you to a better action, right? And then there's this reciprocal interoperation between you and the community, right? You're a valued member of the community. You need the community because you value it, because with the community you can do more than you can without, right? That's what enables, maybe not all co-creation, but maybe enables better co-creation. More people that you have these common values with enables this better communication. And so, you can sort of see what's forming here, right? As I progress you through these concepts, and what we can't really stop here, right? We're still falling short. We're still missing some things, and so really, it's that what we're really missing here are aims, intent, and reverence. And I know that's a lot. We need to morph the common values over to higher aim. And you may be like, well, what's with this higher aim thing? Well, aiming is important because it doesn't speak to a specific thing so much as it speaks to a general idea that we can go after, even if we can't attain it, right? Even if we're never able to get there. And so communities have aims. Again, communities have aims outside themselves. That allows you to revivify them. Your interaction with the community is supposed to be revivifying the community because you're orienting you, the community, and the aim. And all of the aims of all the communities go to the higher aim. That's what the higher aim is. It's sort of like the amalgamation of all the community aims, right? All the lower aims. And the community needs to have both in order to be healthy. And through our intent, or through the intent of the community, we co-create with the higher aim. That's a different form of co-creation. So at the bottom, you've got you co-creating through participation with others, right, in the community, right? And then you've got the co-creation through intent of the higher aim. And the lower one is more like the material objects, the things you can do. And the upper co-creation is more like the ideals, right? And so aim in both senses, in the higher aim sense and the aim above community, those are ideals. Those are things you strive for. So I like to, people talk about Plato's forms. I like to use eidos. I think that's a better word because it doesn't have that, forms has that tied to the materialism. But eidos, I think, is more appropriate. And so that's what helps to revivify the community. And then the communities get revivified by the higher aim. So the aims are the things that are the ideals that we strive for, that are outside of the things we can create, but they're within our ability to imagine, and they're within our ability to strive for, or grasp after maybe. Maybe we can't grasp them, but we can grasp at them. And that local aim, always greater than the community, and the higher aim sums them all up. At the same time, you as an individual, the really important relation is that you have to have a reverence for the higher aim. And reverence implies a relationship where you're recognizing the importance of that higher aim above yourself, right? And also above the community or communities that you're in. And that's what, again, helps you to avoid becoming corrupt, helps the communities to avoid becoming corrupt, and moves us as a group or as humans in a positive direction. And when we don't have a common positive direction, we can't make that work, because if there's too many directions, there aren't enough of us to perfect the eidos, right? To go after the right eidos and perfect it. And so if we can't agree on those things, but I think we can, then we have a problem. And then you may say, oh, well, agreement, that's where this all falls down. And fair enough, maybe it all falls down at agreement. But maybe not, because maybe as humans, because we have so many commonalities in the bodies that we're in, we have these commonalities in the thinking that we do. We have these commonalities because we watch each other and we see what we're up to, right? We see what we're up to through others. We see what other people are up to. Because of that, maybe we have more in common with our higher aims than we're really sort of discussing. And a lot of this is around discussion. If you can't get the discussion going around right relationship, if you can't get the discussion going around co-creation, if you can't get the discussion going around higher aim, what community is, what a healthy community is with an exterior aim to be revivified, if you can't get reverence right, then we're going to have problems. But I think if you get all the components, or maybe at least most of the components of this slide discussed and correct and understood by people, then maybe that'll help us to fall in and find this higher aim, build these stronger, better communities, embody this reverence that we need so that we take this task seriously, because living this life on this planet is a serious business. We all die, apparently. And that sucks. That's a big deal. And the people we love die, maybe more horrifically, right, to us. And it's important that we get the higher aim right. It's important that we have reverence for it. It's important that we find out what it is through outsourced cognition, distributed cognition, shared cognition with others, so that we can point at these things, so that we can create these things, so we can do this co-creation. Because it's possible that we're co-creating the world as a result of aiming high. And that would be how I think the ultimate model should look. And, if you're wondering, well, how else does this tie in? Probably going to do, as I said, another video, maybe 2, on how this ties in. Sort of maybe a roll up of how we got here, of all the last slides, and then make some more connections for you. Because ultimately what these models are all about, what this channel is all about, is navigating patterns. We have to find the patterns to navigate them. And we can't do that alone. We're not big enough. We haven't seen enough of the world. We have to open ourselves up to the information that the other people, the other humans, right, that we're in community with, whether we like it or not, no, we need their knowledge. We need their pieces of knowledge. They need our pieces of knowledge. We always condense knowledge. We go out, we experience a bunch of things, we summarize. That's what we do. We summarize primarily in story. We've got to tie all that together. That's what we have to do. So in an upcoming video, I'll be making more of these connections for you, but hopefully I've given you a peek at what the optimal model looks like, and you can start to think about how it may tie into the world. And again, please take these seriously, because they're important in that they can draw us together and get us thinking the same way about the same things. And, we don't know what those things are yet. Fair enough. But at least if we aim in the same direction, our attention's pointed in the same direction, we can figure this out together. That's what we need to be doing, is figuring this out together. So I want to thank you for coming on this slide journey with me. It's not over. I will do at least one more, maybe 2 more videos, maybe more if I get requests. And I hope you're, again, taking this seriously. And, ultimately, I just want to give you my heartfelt thanks for watching and for giving me and giving these subjects your time and attention.